The awesomeness. An
Oddly shaped feet.
Way too early.
I would like an Arnold Palmer at the omelet parlor. That one's hard. Like an Arnold Palmer at the omelet parlor.
Like an Arnold Palmer at the omelet parlor.
The skeleton went out of shampoo in the shower.
The sandwich one? You had a good sandwich one.
Snoopy was sacked by his leader. I like that one.
Well, cheers, queers. It is From Behind the BarCast, the podcast for bartending, service industry, and drinking in general. I'm Paxton. This is Clint Moses.
The tarantula enjoyed a fine chewing gum.
That's
what it is.
We got Mr. Vincenzo.
What up, boys?
Thank you to our Patreons. We got a few new ones, and we actually got a new patron as we're sitting at the bar. She is sitting there with us.
Yes.
And
she is.
have you sent her the thank you message?
I sent it to her almost immediately. It said, "Can't wait to thank you in person."
So thank you, Maddie and Hayden.
Thank you, Maddie, and Bryce.
Oh, and Bryce, yeah.
Bryce McNally.
Now, this has happened so much this week. It's happened universally forever.
We haven't got enough Patreon subscribers.
No. But thank you to the patrons. You can go to patreon.com/FromBehindTheBarCast to support us.
More on that at the break.
So, actually, we don't do that during the break. That's the thing that we forgot during the break. But I'll put more of it in the break. But let's break this down first.
Okay, break it down, baby.
So, all right, I'm the customer. Hey, buddy, come here, man.
How can I help you?
Hey, man. Got something wrong with my drink.
Oh, yeah? What was that?
I think it's got a hole in it.
Oh!
I hate that.
It's going to keep having a hole in it. All the time.
Shut the fuck up.
How old?
Oh, mid-40s to mid-50s.
It's never anybody in their 20s or 30s.
No matter
it's always
what.
somebody who's either got kids or can't have them because they're 50. And nobody wants to screw them. I get it at work all the time. Or my favorite, when people give you your credit, take Kroger cards, hey, or a Walgreens card.
Do you take a library card?
Yeah, any of that nonsense. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, give me your Kroger card. You ain't getting that back.
Someone did.
Stealing your fuel points.
Someone did give me a card one time. This is kind of off topic, but because you have some bar customers that come in and like they're genuinely funny. You know, maybe it's something you hadn't heard yet, but. So I'm bartending and like I'm telling some bullshit story to someone like just to make conversation and trying to end it as quickly as possible. I get done and there's this guy over there sitting politely in the corner. About those customers leave and he walks over and he slides a business card over to me. But it's like it's baby blue. And it's not very.
Is it shaped appropriately to go in your wallet, or is it too big?
No. It's the exact size to go in your wallet.
Okay.
And on it says, "Congratulations, sir. I see you're a bullshitter. I'm quite the bullshitter myself. Welcome to the club," or something like that.
I've seen some of those. Do you remember Martin Vinny that used to work at Trailer Park? He's the original chef. Big Martin. He worked at Rich Chris too.
Yeah, he worked at Rich Chris.
Back in the day before he went to prison, when we were partying hard, he had a card that said, "Martin fulfills dreams and desires," and then like around the edge it was like some of his things he would do sexually, like written like in a border.
His name was Marvin.
Marvin. Sorry, I didn't want to. Come on, man, I'm doing my thing. Right on
Clint changes their name so well they would never know.
No, Martin was Marvin unless you told him.
I just busted him out.
You just doxed this poor guy for something he does not care about at all. He was very proud of that.
Well, all right, so there's another thing. It's in that sort of vein. I was looking on Facebook the other day, and there's this man. He's like in his men in their like mid-50s should not post things on Facebook that say perks of dating me. You get a porn star, a cook, and a psycho.
Are you and Matt Kitchen
biker.
still Facebook friends? If Al could work Facebook.
I was like, this is the last thing anybody wants to see a 55-year-old man put on there.
I mean, don't you miss JT's Facebook of like ridiculously big-breasted tattooed women constantly? And then it'd be like that like I had a good time with my daughters today. I'm just like, my man don't give up.
Yeah. Well, one day I remember like I guess he had just found that like there were pages on Facebook that were like hot chicks with tattoos, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So one day I walk in, he goes, "Come here, hey Paxton, come here, man." I'm about to light that Facebook up with all these women. Check this one out. Check this one out. Check this one out. I was like,
no.
Okay.
we have a friend, well, I won't mention at all, even with the fake name, who had to show his father how to work Pornhub because he was paying for porn instead.
I think I know that guy.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite JT was when he discovered Pandora for the first time. Like, Greta Van Fleet came out. Like, I think they're kind of garbage now, but I liked them when I first heard them. And he was like, Vinny, you know that band you heard of, Greta Van Fleet? I found this thing called Pandora, man.
Why is everybody
and you can
sound like
type in a band name, and it'll make a whole radio station for them. And this was like 2 years ago, and I'm like, yeah, dude, that's what
I love when old people
Pandora
figure out.
is.
Old people figure out technology. They're like, check this out. I'm like, I know.
Well,
Sometimes it goes to my dad. I'm like, oh, cool, man, awesome. And I'm like, yeah.
but and
My dad will just ask me, can you do this? I'm like, you can do it.
It's normally simple stuff too. It's not like a 50-year-old guy like, how do I get on the TikTok? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll look in their phone.
Well, they'll find TikTok, and it'll be a video of them from like down here,
Yeah.
and they'll be like, "Hey, Sandra, I miss you," and they make it public to everybody.
and they think they're talking to one person. Well, I forgot who it was, but I looked at their phone to help them do something else, and I looked in their Google search history.
Boobs?
No, they Googled Gmail.
And they went to Gmail?
Oh, wow.
They would Google Gmail to get to their Gmail.
Carl, I love you. I had to show my father. Now, this is 12 years ago. Internet's not popular enough. 15 years ago, and I was like, hey, he was doing similar things. I was like, no, you go to this. And he's like, oh, cool. But like, it was, it was a pre-smartphone time, so people have learned a lot more. Some people have, some people have not. I mean, I've shown men Vinny's age how to download a podcast recently.
Yeah.
They're like, what do you mean? And I'm like,
you would be surprised. I'd be like, hey, well, subscribe to the YouTube channel. And they're like, all right, what's that?
Now, when I open my phone, when I go to my pictures, the first picture I have is our QR code. It's right there. And I can be like, here you go. Here you go.
And
Nice.
man, while we're talking about JT, RIP, obviously.
All the
Loved you, dude.
RIPs.
Love that dude. And we have a picture up. The bar that I work at was his bar, basically.
Yeah. I'm sure you still get people that are like, can I get 7 Jim Beams for $7?
Here's the thing, though. Someone came in. They were like, you know what? JT really always hooked it up, but I'm glad you don't do it like he does. Like he did.
I've said that before because he's just like.
Well, and while he worked there, while he was alive,
Nope.
I told him, I was like, if you pour their first drink as strong as as strong as 4 drinks put together, that's the only one that they're going to
They
get.
have 2 drinks. Yeah, I've talked about it before. If y'all aren't watching, you need to be watching right now. There's some interesting things going on that we're not going to describe to you.
We're not
You
gonna
will only know that if you're watching
If you're
the YouTubes.
watching, yes. So JT came up to me once. So JT
Then he's
was.
pulling his penis out right now.
Oh wow!
Secret time.
Wow, nice.
Why
Just trying to make y'all laugh.
Why does it have jelly on it?
So I got to work one day, and JT wanted to show me like a YouTube video or something, whatever.
Did you go to YouTube? Did you Google YouTube?
So he pulls out his phone, and see, if you're not watching, you're not going to be able to see this. So he takes out his phone, he tries to show it to me.
Shake it.
He's like he's got Parkinson's or something.
He just got to work.
But he hadn't drank that day yet or whatever, right? So I had this brilliant idea, I think. You make an application for your smartphone, okay?
Right.
You turn on the application, you hold your phone, and how badly it shakes tells you you need 4 ounces of 40 proof alcohol to fix this
you need
shake.
40 ounces of water 4 times.
You know you've gone to work and handed that first draft beer, though. Like
Oh,
at
man.
5 o'clock.
I did it
where you're like,
yesterday.
how is this beer so heavy?
I did it yesterday, so now we have the really small shot cups. They're like,
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
I tried to hand it to someone, half of it got onto
The church ones?
Yeah.
I hate those things.
Yeah.
church one.
That's like all you can get. There's no shot cups.
You have to pour it on the bar.
There's no shot cups. There's
You're
no.
going to be using ramekins. You're going to be using to go ramekins soon.
We had no limes yesterday. Not a single lime from front to back.
I know, because Saturday I got there and I was like, you were like, do you want a lime with your Moscow Mule? And you looked panicked. I was like, why? I have 8. I'm like, I'll take 2.
It's $100 for a case of limes right now.
Well,
Is it the cartels again?
I
Remember,
guess,
like 10 years ago, there was like a big lime shortage?
I gave away a bunch of lemons. So, and speaking of people,
I mean, you don't really need lime for anything but a margarita. Like everything else is optional. I mean, maybe a gin and tonic.
you know what though?
You can get a lemon.
It's kind of it's a trend right now. Like young white women always want a lemon in their Tito's and soda now instead of a lime. Yeah, I think it's more.
I mean, I like a lemon with my Tito's and water sometimes. More
I like
lime.
fruit.
That was the classic
don't
way
care.
I was taught was soda gets
soda
lemon,
gets lemon, tonic gets lime. Yep, me too.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
too.
Craft bartending.
Yes, craft bartending.
So
Shout out to what's his name? Want to be a craft bartender? You know what? Let's not even say his name.
care, yeah.
He's chubby and balked on some pedals.
You mean Scott? Is he a craft bartender now?
Yeah. He's been a craft bartender for 30 years. He's won 30 craft bartending awards.
Speaking of being old and the way you act, old and lame. The way you act when you're old and lame. So, Here in the neighborhood that I live in, where studio from behind the BarCast is, we have a few little things called STVRs. If you're not familiar with that, that is short-term vacation rentals. And it is a plague down here on Tybee, my friends.
It is. There's wait, so you are friends with Matt Kitchens on Facebook then?
So there's a rental property right on the corner as you're pulling in. It is a 3-bedroom.
Diana's old house?
Yes. So there's been upwards of 8 to 12 cars there every time it has been rented out. So these people think that because the front of my house, I mean, it looks a little ambiguous that it's my yard over on one end.
Here right now, I'm going to move my car.
I got home one night after work, and there were 3 cars parked in all of my parking spots, hot.
Like in front of your house, like the one where your
front
car's
of
right now?
Where we're parked right now.
Now I'm hot.
Not in the pull-up driveway, but all the rest of it, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I'm waiting inside, and I hear some noise outside, and I run down. I'm like, hey. And they're like, yes,
Your
sir.
grown-up voice.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Exactly.
sir.
Yeah, yes, sir. I was like, what are y'all doing, man? I was like, you can't park here. This is private property, right? And he's like, we were just at a friend's party. I was like, which friend? Where's he at? And, where? Over there? So they skedaddle, whatever, right?
Well, there's a lot of street parking. It's free.
That's what I'm saying. You can park on 80. So then I was like, all right, one-time thing. The next weekend, which was this weekend, Friday, I get home from my gig, and there's 3 cars parked out there. I walk out, and some of my neighbors notice that I walk out in a huff, and they're like, hey.
They want to join the huff because you're the younger, more healthy neighbor.
We finally got a young buck in the HOA.
I'm sorry, what was that, Horsey?
Literally everyone around here is 70 or above.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we saw Ricky's dad there today. That dog's 70, too.
Yeah, right. The poor guy. So and that unit over there, it's a 3-piece. They're all connected. So they're partying. So apparently what they're doing is people from Savannah are renting it as an Airbnb, and then they sublet it to their friends. So there will be 8 people staying at a 3-bedroom Airbnb.
Oh, okay.
So that's why all the parking stuff happens. Well, anyways, so I went out there, and I built this rope with...
you wove it together yourself?
No, yeah. I spindled some rope together. No, so I built like a rope with...
it's got floaties on it. And some wood piece on the end that I almost...
Some noodles.
Noodles. Pool noodles. It is weird how effective just putting any sort of structure...
Oh, yeah, it worked.
It worked, and I don't have to worry about it again.
I pulled in today, and I usually loop around.
Yeah.
So when I leave, I don't have to drive over the 19 potholes. Mm-hmm. And I drove the nice car today because it was nice time to ride to Tybee with the top down, even though Vinny was in the car like, oh, miserable crap.
I can barely talk today.
Yeah, thank God.
That's pretty good.
You got that camera, though, at least, still.
You can still see my beautiful face on YouTube.
Yeah, it's all right today. And so I spin around. Wake up, buddy. I spin around till I'm facing away, and I'm like, oh, I forgot to get alcohol today. So I get in the car to go get some vodka, and I pull forward, and I almost hit the thing. And I'm like, when you come back, you will park facing away from that thing, so you do not drive right into it. Because when Clint and Poe went to Oregon a few summers ago, went to a bunch of wineries, had a beautiful time. That's where this picture right here
was taken?
that you can see if you're on YouTube. Maybe we'll post a picture on the Instagram.
No, you got to see it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Paxton Eugene YouTube channel.
YouTube channel, from behind the BarCast stuff, all kinds of cool.
It was just
shit.
on the screen earlier.
Yes, it'll keep coming back. So here was the deal. Poe doesn't like to drive in a lot of traffic or a strange place. I'm like, I'll drive. You can drink. Like the days we weren't going to the wineries, I was like, I'm just going to smoke the whole time, though, because you can just be high in Oregon. So we rented, a Nissan Leaf or some crap, which was a terrible idea because there's a lot of mountains in Oregon, so you start going up a hill, and you're like, yeah. And Poe and I are only, combined 400 pounds, so that thing's like, no, we're looking for hippies. We're looking for this is a vegan-only car. It's white. We stop at this awesome waterfall where I ended up tearing my meniscus because it was like a 4-mile hike. Anyways, I'm going to smoke a joint next to the waterfall, right? So I'm just high as all hell because it's all great weed. And when we pulled in, there was a car in front of me, and I kind of pulled in a spot where there was like a little rock right there. I think, well, that car will be there, so I won't, whatever. So we're gone for like an hour and a half. We come back. I'm super high. And I get in. We walk up from the back of the car and get in, and I drive forward right into the rock. It's a boulder. It was like this big.
And if you're in a Nissan Leaf, it's not.
Leafs don't do rock beats leaf. Rock beats leaf.
Yeah,
Paper may beat rock, but rock beats leaf. And so it
crunched. A new challenger has entered.
It crunched up. So I backed off real quick and was like, shit. I was like, what are we going to do? I'm like, I'll tell you what we're going to do. Get some white spray paint from Walmart. So I went to Walmart immediately, spray painted white crap all over it, and then drove around for the next 2 days so all the bugs and shit got all over it. So it just looked like a car. And we were back to the rental place where we had hell. I pulled in forward, like right up on the barrier guard. So the guy came out there and was like, looks good to me. And I was like, sign right
See
here,
you
please. I'm keeping this forever. And when we,
Well, don't they have insurance on those things when you rent cars?
see, my insurance would have covered it,
Yeah.
but I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah,
You know what spray paint cost? $7.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the...
Did they ask for your ID with spray paint?
Yeah.
Yeah, because graffiti's so bad in Oregon, you have
Oh,
to show
wow.
an ID to get spray paint.
I thought people were huffing it like that guy
No,
on
I mean,
Cops.
maybe that too, but I think it's
Remember the guy with the gold spray paint on his face on Cops? Because gold and
yeah.
silver spray paint
Yeah.
are the highest.
Silver, I guess they have like the highest. I don't know. Get the highest.
Yeah, so like, you buy that, you're like, you walk in there with gold lips, they're like, wait a minute, gold dust.
I was out in Denver, and weed's legal out there, and we were going to Red Rocks. It's funny. I was just telling someone this last night. And we were out there, so I don't smoke, but all my friends do. So they bought, they're at dispensaries. Like, I'll take the green one and the other greenish one and the greener one. Like.
Oh, I walked outside with the menu. The first place, it was like, I walked into one store and bought 2 things I knew what were.
Yeah.
And went to the next store. She handed me this menu, and I was like, I'll be back in 30 minutes. I went and sat in the park and like did my own
Did your own
research,
research,
as you
people.
do. And then walked back inside and was like, I want to listen to the woman was like, thank you for being organized.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah. So we're out there, and we go to Red Rocks for some shows, whatever. So we're kind of collecting drugs and alcohol. You know what I mean? Like
legal drugs.
Yeah, no,
Legal
illegal.
alcohol.
Lots of illegal drugs too, and legal alcohol. So we're at the Embassy Suites downtown Denver. Denver's a beautiful place, right?
Whatever. You said NBC Suites.
Embassy Suites.
I'm glad I'm not the only one talking fast today.
Downtown Denver.
like this.
Downtown Denver. You walk through the streets, and there are people shooting up on the streets. They're like drug deal. Like it is homeless.
Goddamn blue states.
It's kind of crazy because Denver's so nice otherwise,
The homeless are bad everywhere, though. People bitch about it. Cities have homeless problems.
Yeah. It's just this was like it was a free.
But the shooting up thing is a little rough.
Yeah, I mean, I saw drug deals going down, and not like fun drug deals, like heroin and fentanyl and shit like that,
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so we're done.
No crocodile?
And I don't. They look like there's on some crocodile.
Ooh.
So we're
That's
done.
the mascot for the Broncos changing it to the Crocodiles.
Denver Crocodiles.
The Denver Crocodiles.
So we have to fly.
Colorado
out.
Crocodiles, actually,
Oh,
for
there
the
you
head of the
go.
Rockies.
Oh, that's perfect. You need some alliteration.
Yes. Or some onomatopoeia.
Before
Wow, bang, zip.
we're about to fly out, and we can't carry, a half a gram of Molly and, eighth of weed.
I mean, you can, but you probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
Especially not flour.
So we made a homeless care package. We took a cooler, and we filled it up with everything that we couldn't take back with us, and we hid it over here in this homeless encampment. Not where they would just see it if they walked by, but if they were really looking for something, they found it.
They might drop something.
So
Somebody got real lucky.
somebody got real lucky and either OD'd or had like the best
I think
time.
I talked about what I
life.
did.
Like
'Cause I just put mine down. Like, I put one down and walked like 200 feet, put it down, and then I put the third one down. Some guy was like, hey, man, you need those? And I was like, what? He's like, those things you've been putting down. I'm like, no, just weed. I got to fly it tomorrow. He's like, can I have it? I'm like, sure. He goes, thanks, man. And I was like, you been following me? He's like, yeah. I was like, why? He's like, I want to see how many you put
You're
down.
like Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah. I could let him right into a dark alley. He wouldn't have noticed.
I just did that with our St. Patty's Day T-shirts. We had a bunch of screwball ones that said "Screw me, I'm Irish," so I dropped them all off under Truman Parkway. So soon, all the homeless people will be walking around and "Screw me, I'm Irish."
This is that video will know where they
I
live.
thought it was a good move.
Yeah, I mean, that's philanthropic. It's just like, every championship shirt where they didn't win the championship, like a Falcons Super Bowl shirt.
Yeah.
They send them all to like third world countries.
Could have picked any team. Any
Just
team.
could have gone anywhere.
Buffalo Bills.
Could have gone
4
with
seasons.
Alabama.
4 seasons of Buffalo Bills shirts.
All right, so there's a Facebook group called Bartending Memes Unfiltered, something like that, and I look at it a lot. 90% of it is pretty garbage because someone will be like, "Oh, this person didn't tip me," and even other bartenders and servers will be like, "Well, you probably sucked at serving them or some shit."
Or
like
they'll
that.
be like, what is this tip line for? Or they put math on here. Half of them are dumb, but most of them are dumb, but I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, and I don't
the
normally-
gold is good, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, the good parts are really good, and I don't normally get too involved with it. But someone posed a question. I think I should have written her name down or his name down. Nikki.
It was Nikki.
Okay.
Or Noel.
And it was like,
Nikki.
she says, "Is it wrong that I get annoyed that I work at a bar 5 nights a week, and then my friends, when they ask me to go out, they want me to go to another bar, and I like to say no?" So I chimed in. I said, It's not rude or annoying of you, because that's like me going to a dentist's office and talking to a dentist and being like, "Hey, you want to
Go hang out at the orthodontist?
Yeah, you want to go hang out at the mouth surgeon? He's really good. You should see this guy's work,
They have drugs there.
But, I mean, I go out. I'll go see a show. like a concert, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll go out with you to dinner, have drinks at dinner. But like just going and partying at a bar when the rest of my life is partying at a bar seems a little much. And people get super annoyed when you don't want to go with them to do things like that.
Which is weird to me because like that's your job. Like I'll go out.
Well, see, you work at a fine dining establishment where you're not serving people at a bar all the time.
But the thing is, I don't go downtown when I'm not working. People are like, you want to go downtown? I'm like, no, I work down there. I don't want to go down there because I have my fill of it just walking to and from work because now that he's working downtown, he's trying to go downtown all the time. And I'm like, I don't. Also, downtown, you get a cocktail and you can't put your whole hand around the cocktail because it's in a 6-ounce cup. So I have to hold it with like 2 fingers.
It's in a thimble.
And it's $9, and it's like, and they give you like the thickest, like this kind of thick straw. It's like a 4-inch diameter straw. It's only half of the straw, and you drink it in 2 sips. I'm like, well, and now this is gone.
Yeah.
And like, it just, I don't know, it's lost its luster. I've gone downtown a few times in the last couple of weeks.
Well, I'm saying I'll go to the Barrel House if there's a band that I want to see there.
I usually just go to Molly's or get pho and leave at Boomies.
But now there's hardly any bands around town that I care to sit. Like, I'm not like, we don't.
They're dying. It's all DJs now downtown.
Yeah. We had this white boy reggae band at Huckapoo's on Saturday.
Oh, you mean 311 Fuck Sublime?
Yeah, for real. The thing was, they were like, all right, we're going to play an original song. And it sounded like a Sublime song that didn't make it to an album. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was a C-side.
Same chords.
Yeah. So, but the thing was,
They weren't bad.
They weren't terrible, but it was like they played Bad Fish twice. And there is a cardinal rule about bands playing: do not play the same song twice in one night.
When you're only playing for 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
Because they demanded to play during the second half of the basketball game because we had the first half with the sound on, and I was like, Winky's like sound. He's like, man, I don't know, they want to play, and I was like, I feel like it's respect because they traveled all the way here. The guy's like, we're local, and I'm like, man,
Never mind. Yeah.
never mind. And
But see, I
they
don't
had
care.
a good time though.
I don't care about the sound of a basketball.
It's
game,
not. The thing
really.
is, especially the last 3 minutes where they're like, a free throw, and a
Another
free throw.
foul. Another foul. Yeah.
Speaking of which, there's a basketball game tonight. Do you even know who's playing?
UNC
That's what.
and Kansas.
You're correct.
Yes. Who's ranked higher?
Kansas was ranked number 1 in their bracket.
Oh, okay. Look at you. And UNC was ranked number
3.
8.
But no more
Pretty
Roy
good.
Williams there.
No. Well, he's at the games.
Is
but
Bill Self still the coach of the Kansas Jayhawks?
No. Yes.
Don't look at me.
Hey, look at all this sports talk.
Jamie, look it up. All right.
Let's get off
Get
of
back to the bar.
Back to the bar.
I got a sport move for you.
And I'm not done.
Oh,
I'm not done with the white boy reggae thing, okay?
Okay.
Ooh,
Okay.
I hate white boy reggae, by the way. Except for Sublime. That wasn't really.
Well, that's not, they weren't white boy reggae. They invented a genre.
Jamiroquai. Was that white boy reggae?
Jamiroquai is funky, psychedelic.
It's so
space
easy
cruise.
to make you two mad about music. It's like
What?
I can touch your tank with
think I
one
just
finger
described it
and
pretty
make
well.
you guys come about music. They're like, God damn it, no! I'm like, who's that over there in that picture? Is that Lottie Divock?
Yeah.
Is that Lottie Divock and
Well,
Herschel Walker?
I was talking to somebody about it, and I was like, are there any black artists in the U.S. that play reggae anymore?
Yeah,
That's
all
a
the
good
Marley
question.
kids.
They're not in the
the
U.S.
US. I mean,
They're
they
from
tour.
Jamaica.
Oh, you mean from? Well, they toured in America though.
Wyclef.
Wyclef Jean and John Brown's
Wyclef
body.
Jean-
Snoop Dogg did Snoop Lion for a little
Wyclef
bit.
Jean is not from America.
Oh, yeah, he's from Haiti or
From
whatever.
Haiti.
Oh yeah, you might be.
So,
IT.
any reggae that happens here in the U.S. is white boy reggae.
These are Savannah
New
white
light.
boys.
Yeah.
White boys. So, speaking of white boy reggae or sports,
Put it up.
11 p.m. Thursday night. Clint's leaving work, going by Boomies to get some pho. I'll get to that interaction in a moment. I called. They're going to be 20 minutes. I'm like, whatever, that's fine. I'm turning down Congress Street, driving by where Vinny works. So it goes corner bar, empty place, social club, Boomies, the rail. As I'm approaching the rail, there's a car parked pretty much, even if you walk out the door, you could walk right in front of the car and just touch the bumper barely. There's a girl over there dropping it like it's hot. I assume she was dropping it like it's hot. She, in fact, was just dropping something hot. Urine.
Ooh.
At 11 p.m. on Congress Street, facing the way traffic is coming. And she was probably 23 years old doing the Carolina squat right there in front of that car. Or I guess we'll call it the Carolina squat.
So she was she was not too drunk where she couldn't perform the
The
squat.
yellow drop was happening right there.
And this was a Thursday night.
She didn't have her hands on the car. She was doing it all freestyle.
Okay, then that must have meant that she wasn't entirely drunk.
Right.
If you're still able to perform that
So
maneuver.
I'm so flabbergasted.
So why do it there?
I can't get my phone out fast enough. And then I go, do I film this girl peeing? Because like it feels like it's kind of weird.
Because then it makes you look weird.
It makes me look weird, but also like she locked eyes with me because I'm the only car coming, and I'm thinking pee on the other side of the car.
Almost as if she was daring you to.
It's like when your dog poops and stares at you and you can't look at him. She was just
Your dog
right
was that
in
for
the
protection,
eye.
though. She was looking at me for protection. She was looking at me for an erection.
I'll give you a protection
And
erection.
she got it. But yeah, it was very odd. It's like just doing the Carolina squat or whatever right there on the street. And I was
See,
like,
the thing
it's
is-
11 p.m. 11
No,
p.m.
I understand that, but a girl.
Now I
peeing-
parked really fast to try to walk down there.
A girl
to see
peeing
if she was still there.
A girl peeing outside at any time of night is normally because
In a skirt.
They're super wasted.
She had no pants. She pulled the
Whoa.
pants down.
Next level.
Even better.
The
because
whole, I mean, look, she's kind of a gamer in some aspects. Like I kind of have some respect for her.
I'm telling you, I'm gaining more and more respect for her as you're telling us.
As someone who
contact,
shit by a dumpster in a pizza box.
Passion is okay with outdoor bathroom. Did you just go to the camera yourself and point? Like, God, come
Hey, man, you pay attention to your job, I'll pay attention to mine. I can be on all
I have every
night if I
job.
want to.
Touche, sir. Well
you want to
done.
high five
Well
yourself?
done. Hey,
If you rewatch my camera
no,
work, you're going to love it.
Hey.
Oh, there, oh, yeah.
Snaps. I forgot. I didn't get the sunglass memo today.
Oh, you blew it away.
They could hear us wearing sunglasses
Here's
over
wearing
the
sunglasses.
microphone. I
You
know
hear me
they
trying to
could.
read my tablet, like squinting at it through the Carolina squint. But it was so shocking. She was a pretty girl, too. She was probably 23, 24 years old. But part of me goes,
Did you get her name or anything?
She sounded like, goddamn, I'll pee where I got to. You know, she did not sound like, oh, yes, I'll use the restroom when I need be.
Pardon me, I must adjourn to the ladies' room.
Yes.
I.e., Stabersham.
Stabbersham. So before we take a break, do some happy birthdays. The most important of all the birthdays.
Do you want to get them right this week? Or
Nope, not at all. But this one I'm going to get right. Happy birthday to Angel King.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
love you,
We
Mama.
love you, Mama Angel. She is the shit.
Definitely
She
not
is
listening,
amazing.
but I'm sure someone will.
No, thank God,
God.
my mom does not listen to this
We were
podcast.
talking about a girl peeing for about 5 minutes. I'm kind of glad she doesn't. Like, if my mom was alive, I'd be like, skip this podcast. My mom would have heard 3 podcasts probably.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'd be like, hey, Mom, no. Nope.
If-
I'm going to subscribe to Patreon. You can, but you can't look
Yeah,
at
but
it.
you can't.
Just give me $10.
If your mother was alive, I would go over there every day and say, hey, please don't ever listen to the podcast. Just reminding you.
Right here every day. Please, God, no.
The daily reminder not to.
Big shout out to Eric Daubert. Happy birthday, Eric
yeah,
D.
happy birthday, Eric
Came
Daubert.
into Circa on his birthday.
Eric
I hooked
the
him up with
Bear.
some stuff. I was busy as hell, and so like I couldn't talk to them because what was going on. But like occasionally food's messed up. They're like, "Oh, this is overcooked. What do we do this?" I was like, "Give me that." What was I like? Here's some food. And like I went back later. I was like, "Here's a dessert." And they're like, "Oh, thanks." I'm like, "Gotta go," because I wasn't in a bad mood, but I was just busy as hell and wasn't getting the appropriate amount of help. And so like I kept like rudely going over there and giving them free crap.
Hey, here's a free tartar, you tards.
Yeah. And then Smoot came into it, which was kind of nice. Anyway, happy birthday to Genevieve. Once a Patreon subscriber. Probably had reason to stop. I don't know. Happy birthday to Greg Dietrich.
Oh, nice.
Celebrated like a girl for 9 weeks. But
Yeah.
we'll see you at the game on Thursday because we're going to opening day.
We are.
By we, I mean me and Vinny. Me
Yeah, I
and
was about to say.
God, your voice is going to be screwed for the rest of the month.
I don't even have a voice tonight. I don't know how I'm going to get
That's
it.
going to be great.
Do what I do at Georgia games sometimes. I cover my ears and go. Because like
I do that at
If I
concerts.
did it at Arkansas games, I'll lose my voice.
Wait, so you cover your ears.
During the Arkansas game, we hit like 120 decibels.
Yeah, yeah.
It was
It was
wild.
so loud, it was shaking my glasses because we were down front.
yeah.
And so I covered my ears because the noise was deafening.
Yeah.
And we just went like I
So-
was screaming. So I would have my voice the next day.
I have a-
I screamed on the first down and second down,
Yeah.
but not on the third one. I couldn't scream all 3 times.
I have a buddy who comes in. His name's Joe. He lives right down the street, and he enjoys craft beer. And there were some woo girls next to him the other night when he was in there.
Oh, yeah?
So, I mean, discreetly and quietly, he pulls out his phone, and he's tapping. And then I was like, you know, he's not the type of guy that's staring at his phone. You know, he comes to the bar to hang out. And
He's
like,
the guy, the skinny guy was here, the tall guy.
tall, skinny guy, yeah.
Yeah.
So he quietly hands his phone over to me, and it's a decibel reader of the girls next to him. They were hitting like 101.
Wait, was I there that then?
I think you
yes.
were.
And I was like, what are they doing over there? That is amazing.
He just-
You need to get one of those.
all right, so I did have one.
Wait a minute. What do you think one? I'm going to find you one of these damn things right now. I mean, it sends it to my phone, too.
No, I had a decibel reader on my phone because I was trolling this guy that is a councilman down here. He wanted to bitch about
the noise
ordinance. So he was playing at the farmer's market, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it can't be over like 70 dB from 15 feet away. I went like 40 feet away. I downloaded a decibel reader, and it was over 70. And I screenshotted it and sent it to his Facebook.
I knew he did.
I love you. That is so great. That is so great. I'm going to see if I can find one for the bar that does Bluetooth, so every time it gets loud, it'll send it to my phone. So I can see me like, damn, it's loud in there, huh? Well, guys, we're going to take a break. Before we do, I want to shout out Davis Produce. What by Davis Produce today? It said they're open at 10. They don't open until noon on Mondays. But I decided to roll around the side. I got the dually in the car, top down, looking nice, you know. Dualies, if you need anything from somebody, you roll up with a sweet black lab. They're like, oh, hey. Aww. So I roll up, and the gate's open, so I walk in there. I'm like, hello. And this girl in there's like, I'm sorry, open until noon. I'm like, oh, that's okay. I live down the street. I'll come back. She goes, well, I've seen you before. What do you want? And I was like, I need some okra. And she's like, do you want two things? I'm like, she was in the cooler because I'm like, sure. And she's like, all right, it's $10. And I'm like, I got a 20. And she's like, I'm like, give me 5 of those tomatoes because that way you don't need to get it changed. She's like, all right, here's 8 tomatoes because as they do.
Yeah,
but they have the big fat daddy beefsteak tomatoes. And so I was like, you know what?
They call them the home of the killer tomato.
And I tell you what, that's just good service right there.
Yeah, Davis has always been like that, even though...
They have forever. I love Davis. Their sherry's so sweet.
They used to come in to the bar every so often or whatever, but even when, though they haven't been there in a long time, anytime I go get peanuts, they give me a bushel, basically, for $5, you know?
Especially if like, the younger girls where they don't know me and much. My mom used to go all the time, so people will be like, oh, oh, here's 18 free things.
They give the best like mom hug too every time you see them. It's always great.
It is not a hug; it's a hold.
Yeah,
it's
Sherry and Rachel both too.
That's what I love.
Awesome.
That's a good hug though.
It's a hold.
Hug me like you love me. Don't hug me like Devitra. I mean, full dose.
Hey, but hold on. Before we take a break, though, I just have to address one more thing because I just don't feel like talking about it in the second half. Okay.
Ooh, this is gonna be good.
I mean, it's nothing to it. It's just so I'm at work, and you know, work is a vulgar place. You know, people curse all the time, like. Remember my Karen and Darren last week?
You discussed putting your balls on people's hands. Yes, I understand. Your work is a vulgar place.
Yeah. Oh, you mean the Dougie game?
The Dougie, yes.
I remember that game.
So we have an employee there. I won't mention her name, but she's very country. And literally, for the past 2 weeks, all she talks
Mike
about...
Henderson?
Literally, all she talks about is eating ass for the past 2 weeks.
Oh, Tragic K. Yeah, I know her.
Can I meet her?
Yeah, she's like, oh, just eat my ass, would you? I'm like, I mean, I eat ass. She's like, everybody do. I eat so much ass.
But eating post Huckapoo's work ass is not the ass you want to eat, even in the winter.
Even pre sometimes. But I'm like,
you might get some ball dust.
I'm like, could you not talk about eating? Like, literally every 10 minutes,
it's just about eating.
She mentions eating ass, and not getting her ass eaten.
She's the one hers.
She's just a giver.
She's just a Starfish fan?
She's just ass eating.
I think I know who you're talking about, and she totally looks like an ass eater.
Yeah, she's
shorter. She's right there.
Yeah, she's short, country as hell.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I knew it. I just knew it. I knew she was.
She's an ass eating polecat, if you ask me.
An ass eating polecat. All right, that's our band name for this week, Ass Eating Polecat.
With that, I need a beer.
Coming live to the stage, Ass Eating Polecat.
We'll see you in a few seconds. Hey, you guys, just wanted to jump in and thank you for listening to From Behind the BarCast. We really do appreciate you guys, but we need some of your help. If you listen to us on Apple, if you'd go and give us a 5-star rating or actually whatever rating you feel like we deserve.
Yes, on Spotify, Apple.
Yeah, and leave a comment, whatever. Also, you can, if you listen on Spotify, you can share our episodes directly to your Instagram stories by clicking one little button. Also, we have all our social medias.
On Instagram, From Behind the BarCast, Facebook, From Behind the BarCast. Message us, comment on stuff.
Comment on any of our,
you guys.
Comment on our posts. That helps as well. Also, if you could do us a favor and go to Paxton Eugene YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button and share our videos and also comment.
Comment and like if you did enjoy them, or if you have a negative comment, we'll take that
If you hate us, do that. Also, you can go to anchor.fm/From Behind the BarCast and leave a voicemail, positive or negative.
Yeah, exactly.
And we'll play it on the show.
And feel free to email us at FromBehindTheBarCast@gmail.com. We love getting emails.
And we take your emails to heart, and we play them. We say them on air,
and we tear up a little sometimes.
And you know what? Sometimes we just love the love. So thank you guys, and let's get back to the show.
Yeah, we're going.
Oh shit! It's the Karen of the week.
The Human Torch is the
Karen of the week.
This Karen of the week, with the beer crack. This Karen of the week is brought to you by Winky, who is such a Darren sometimes.
God, all the time. Eric, the owner of Huckapoos, is sweeping up the kitchen the other night. Because the owner of the Huckapoos sweeps up the kitchen. And Winky thinks it's funny to walk in there and kick the trash pile around the room and then run away.
Can you believe it? This guy, Winky, works at Huckapoos at nighttime. God, Winky. Winky.
Try working 6 years with that man on the same night.
Try 11 years with Winky.
You worked 6 years? He only worked 3 of those years.
Oh, I wasn't going to go there. I was not going to do that.
That would have been enough right there. That'll do it right there. So, speaking of Karens, Darrens, and Winkies, you better listen now.
You better listen now, MFer.
I was going to do it, but I won't. So, Karen.
Don't waste an F on Winky. Go ahead.
That's true. Too many people already have.
Man, the hits just keep on coming.
You might get slapped, bro.
Yeah, and then he's going to run, kick my trash pile over. Karen. I walk up to the table. 3 people at the table. They have demanded to sit in my section. Holy crap.
Hey,
okay.
All right.
That's how I felt too.
Woo.
So it's the beginning of the night on Thursday night. I get double sat. And then the hostess goes, look, I had to triple seat you. This other table demanded to sit at this table. I'm like, that's fine. And she's like, excuse me. I'm like, I'll be right with you, ma'am. Like, I'm dealing with people that were appropriately sat who are buying wine and doing nice stuff. Hey, how are you guys doing? We'd like some bread. Hi, how are y'all doing? We would like some bread. Hey, how are you guys doing? Oh, great, cool.
Yep.
Like some water? She's like, can we get some bread too? I'm like, I can bring some ice water out then, and I'll be right back. The wine was right here. Oh, we don't drink. And I'm immediately just a little turned off because that's part of my sales.
Sure, yeah.
Also, I'm dealing with other tables that are where they're supposed to be. They were half an hour early, demanding to sit in the wrong place. I come back with the water. Do you have any bread? I was like, I'll be out in just a minute. I've now walked by with bread with my other 2 tables and given them bread. You ain't getting bread yet.
Oh,
She's like, excuse me. I was like, ma'am, look, I know that you're hungry. You were set out of
Did
out
she
of line.
make it clear that she wanted bread? I missed that part.
I'm not sure. And then butter, I think. Okay, nothing else. No, and finally she goes, look, we don't drink. Okay. Come back. The guy's like, I'll have a glass of wine. I'll have a cocktail. I'm like, oh, you don't drink, Karen. Not them.
She said we don't
Don't drink. So I thought they meant all of them. So I took the wine list.
Yeah.
And I come back. They do drink, just not Karen. She just drinks freaking bread.
I love a good bread.
I love a good bread
cocktail.
drinker.
Yeah. So I get everybody else settled. I come back to Karen and the boys, and I start doing the specials.
Karen with the boys.
So Karen
Sorry.
does one of my favorite things is I'm telling specials. Ugh, no. Like she's making faces and saying things. Like, no, just keep going. Like, you ain't the only one here, Karen. Like these other guys might want to hear these specials I've got. So I keep going
you
into
keep plugging along with your specials.
I just keep staring at her. The deep Karen stares.
Well, how are the other people? Are they like, oh man?
They know. They know.
They know.
Her husband can tell she's a Karen. She probably beats him. So, I get the drinks. The guys come back. So I'll be right back. I'm pouring wine at the table next to them. She's like, excuse me. We're ready to order. And I'm like, I just give her the look. Shake my head. Okay. Keep pouring wine. And now I am going to overextend my convo to the table.
Yeah.
Where are y'all from? I'll bring you. Oh, you been here before? Hey, you can drink outside?
And definite earshot.
So I was born in Atlanta. Moved to Savannah at age 3. Been on time.
The weather's been fluctuating between 71 and 78.
The Human Torch was denied a bake loan. And so
I'm not a pheasant plucker, but I'm a pheasant plucker's mate.
Exactly. So I go out of my way to just make Karen.
That's one of my favorite things to do.
And I usually don't bring you bread until you order, so that way you'll continue to order. So the guys order a bunch. Karen doesn't order much. I bring them some bread finally, and I'll give her credit. She housed the bread. But when you get more bread, I give you half as much bread. And when you get more bread, you know what you get? Half as much as that time. So now at the end, what Karen got? 2 pieces of bread when she asked for more bread.
And she was ordering entrees or intending to order.
She got an appetizer and a salad.
Oh, okay. Oh,
But she had a lot of bread.
She wanted that bread.
She had a lot of bread. And then dessert time, we're full. Oh, are you? You know what you're full of? Shit and bread.
Yeah.
Shit and bread, Karen.
And piss
and
and
in my notes says, just generally a cunt.
Oh, that was your Karen?
Yeah, just generally a cunt.
At least you know what it means because, well, there's a thing there's a little trope that you spoke about during that, Karen, which I love and that I participate in as much as I can.
Is overly ignoring them?
Yeah, so when people, especially there's cool people right next to them, and you're like, hey, how are you doing? And they go, I am doing very well. Let's see, I guess I'll take a bourbon and Coke, whatever. And then as they're ordering, the person next to them is like, I'm like, you hear them ordering right now.
They're talking to me.
They are literally talking to me.
We were in full engagement here.
So I hand,
Dare.
I'll hand them the bourbon and Coke. Be like, do you like the Bullet bourbon, or because we don't have a lot of selection here?
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm gonna ride that train all the way.
And you watch their anxiety go
all
up
the way
and
to
up and up
Pound
and up.
Town, and then when I get
Their
to
heart
them,
decibels are pounding.
and then when I get to them, I'm like, yes, can I help you? And they'll normally be like, well, I was thinking I was gonna get a beer. I'm like, this bitch.
You've had all the time in the
all
world.
this time.
What kind of beer do you have on draft? It's right behind me.
Saturday night.
What are you wearing? Sunglasses inside?
Yeah.
Saturday night, I had more people that looked like they were landing planes.
I saw quite a few of them.
I mean, it was.
It's the worst.
Well, all right,
the
so
Huckaboo's Airport is not fun.
unless you're watching, you're not going to be able to see this. But one person did it, and I respected their hustle because this is how they did it. They went like this.
You gotta duck down a little. Yeah.
Dip low. Dip low. You got to dip low. There you go. There you go. Ooh, got to watch for this kind of fun.
There were 8 people in front of him, and I was like, yes, sir.
You were in the back with all the
You
energy.
thought it was a girl. I was like,
I
yes,
did.
sir.
I thought it was a girl. It was for sure a girl. It was for sure a goddamn girl.
So I have a Darren by proxy. It wasn't my Darren, but it was
Hey,
from.
it wasn't this guy.
It was from the. Ooh, I gotta
Got a little
catch my
moist.
breath there for a second. So it was from this. This happened to our as mentioned before mentioned ass eater.
Foremention.
Our as mentioned ass eater. She has this guy come in.
That's a hit song. What was our band name in the first half?
I forgot.
Aforementioned ass eaters.
Aforementioned ass eaters. Yes.
She has.
You're so excited to say ass eaters. Guys, we are not high. Well,
I love alliteration. That's it.
So
I think ass is
this
onomatopoeia also.
ass-eating Darren comes in, and he comes in with someone who is familiar, basically to the employees, or whatever. But we don't know this guy, this Darren. So he comes in, and he's like, "I know the owners." They're like, "Okay, man, yeah, whatever." He goes, "Where's the owner? I need to talk to her." Now, Heather is an owner.
Correct.
She is the wife of the owner, and she is
But she
the
is
owner.
the least likely of the I know the owners.
Of the I know the owners,
Yes.
right? So it already seems suspect. Like, oh, do you really know the owners?
And how old is this man?
Probably like mid-40s. I'll stick his Facebook profile picture up on the screen if you're watching.
Yeah.
Without a name or whatever. Well, I don't give a shit. Whatever. So, anyways, he looks like.
Name is Winky.
Hey, he looks like Beaker from the Muppets.
Okay. Yeah.
He's got the super rectangular head and like
Yeah.
a tiny ploof of hair. So he's like, yeah, where's the owner? I haven't seen her yet, whatever. So it's already suspect. He orders some drinks. He tries to pass a fake C note, a fake $100 bill to the ass.
So a bad Benjamin going across the table here.
The thing was, a couple weeks ago, whenever we had the St. Patrick's Day parade or whatever, there was like someone passing out like
Oh, yeah,
fake
they did
bills.
the little shooter.
But it kind of it was pretty evident that they, it had like replica on it or something.
It had James Biden, Joe Biden's face. Hunter Biden. It had Hunter Biden's laptop on the picture.
Well, she goes, he handed me this $100 bill and it looked like dang Monopoly money. It was like the wrong color, all that shit. She goes, hey, this is a fake bill, and she's going to try and keep it. And he snatches it away from her.
Like he's gonna use it
Like
somewhere
he's
else.
going to find some other place to use it. So she puts it on this group. It's called Tybee Coconut, which is a bartenders group just for Tybee, so that if you have people that suck, like Karen's and Darren.
You can let people know.
Yeah, if they're like
I'm on
walking.
that one.
If they're like walking out on their tabs or whatever. So she puts it up. So Heather, our owner, she sees it. She goes, I actually do know that guy. And we're like, really? Well, not know him. So here's the thing. She's at Sam's Club because we get a lot of our like cutlery, all sorts of shit from
Apparently
Sam's
your shot
Club.
glasses
Yeah, I don't even know if Sam's Club has those
from the
anymore.
Methodist Church.
So she's in there, and this guy's behind her in line at the Sam's Club, and he goes, "Hey, are you the owner of Huckaboo's?" She goes, "Oh yeah, hey, what's up, man?" She's super nice to everyone, even when she shouldn't be. He goes, and this is, in front of me. He goes, "Yeah, I went there the other day. Didn't think it was very great, though. I mean, what was everyone talking about?"
What the?
Thanks, dickhead.
Yeah, what the hell, you ass eater?
But then he shows up trying to pass a fake C note.
Yeah. He's like, I think it was very good. The money was stale. Jesus, Beaker.
It was too expensive. No,
Yeah.
but look, if I see a place, someone that owns a place, and I don't necessarily like what I just won't even talk to them.
Yeah.
Hey.
You see Curtis, like, oh shit.
Hey, I went to your place. I don't know why everyone thinks it's so good. Am I right?
Wasn't
Line
real
to say
social
that?
in that club. Not to be associated with Vinny's Social Club downtown.
Yeah.
Nah, it's
that
fine.
could be.
It's fine.
You were on Sunday night last week when, Sunday night has a very eclectic.
Yeah, so I didn't get there
group
last
of
week. So
people,
last
we
Sunday
said.
night, I have that in my notes to remember. So last Sunday night, we
okay.
go there with Sophia, Charlotte, Vinny, and I. And I think Jacob had already left after his weirdness. And so we go in there, and I'm like, it is just weird teammate central in here. Like, there's just people from all walks of life.
Teammates?
Ass eaters and ass eaters not.
Yeah.
Teammates. It's a story for a long another time.
Okay, gotcha.
But it's a game me and my friends have been playing for about 15 years.
Okay.
You can put someone on someone else's team. You're like, hey, that guy with one leg over there, his ability to hopscotch is on your team.
Gotcha,
Or to do the
gotcha.
hurdles, whatever.
Gotcha.
You just, it's a kind of going, look at that fool. You go, hey,
Look at that team,
Something
yeah.
about that guy. That guy's on your
Yeah,
team, and
right.
we got hand
That's
signals
your
and
team.
shit.
Yeah.
It's like nothing weird for Savannah, but if you were a tourist and walked in there on Sunday night, you'd be like, "What the fuck is going on?" in here?"
There was a gentleman, and I use gentleman loosely. Looked like he had been eating ass, and that ass was full of tattoo ink. He had a tattoo around his face. I thought it was a goatee or a birthmark at first, and so I had to. And Charlotte and I were like, Charlotte's like, "That's your team." I'm like, "Already on your team, but in a minute, or put it on his team already." She's like, "Damn it!" So I'm like, "But I gotta get a closer look." So I like
this game.
fake the phone call, walk over near them, and circle this person, and it's like jagged edges around his lips and chin it's a tattoo. And it actually, when I got closer, would have been a cool tattoo on like your shoulder or your knee.
Yeah, but not on your face.
Not on your face. It was and he was young. All I know is in 10 years you're gonna see him. It's gonna be real faded because he's been trying to get it lasered off his mouth.
So he's like post ass eating Malone. With all this
Yes. Post ass eating Malone. And
You
I
know-
was like, it was just such a weird night. So I go in the bathroom to go pee, and their bathroom there's a urinal next to a toilet, and I walk in. And there's a guy peeing in the urinal, and there's a guy peeing in the toilet. The guy peeing in the toilet has both of his legs touching the commode, like he's using the commode to not fall over because he's hammered. And
You
underneath,
don't put your hand on the wall?
he was coming. So he was trying to angle away because the urinals they're kind of close.
Okay.
So he was trying to stand. Look, we're in the bathroom together. Just piss, bro. You're not eating my ass.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
And so he's standing kind of weird. So the other guy walks away. I look under the urinal. There's 4 credit cards and a cell phone, like in the mist piss. Under the urinal, and I'm like, ugh. So I'm pulling my phone out to video the stuff under the urinal, and I go to walk up to pee, and the guy goes, whoa, hold on a second, man. The guy peeing in the commode leans under the urinal, picks up the keys and the phone and the credit cards, wipes them on his shirt, puts them in his pocket. I am like, I step back to cringe. Some big ass dude comes in and goes, "Try me, I gotta pee." And I'm like, that's fine, I can't pee right in a second. And like he runs up in the urinal to start peeing. And this guy,
So that was your video that you took that we
Yes.
had on our
Yes, on our
Instagram
picture
if you
page.
want to check it out.
yeah, I'll post it again.
That was you
I
took that video.
And that guy, he washed his hands and let the sink on and just that bathroom like slam me into the wall and shit. And I was like, social on a Sunday, weird. And it was kind of like half dead. Then he's like, it's gonna get crunk in a minute. And it was like 9. By the time we left at like 10:30, it was slammed.
And
So-
it's funny, I mentioned it
1/3
because
weirdos.
he never said it about last week's podcast, but I came into work on Tuesday, and my boss was reading the reviews for, like, Social Club, and there was one from Sunday, and a girl put a 1-star review. It was like, I've never been here before. I liked how they had someone carding at the door to make sure no underage people are there, but once I walked in and saw everyone in there, I had immediately realized this is not the place I was supposed to be. Like, it was really, like,
Yeah.
you know? It was just eclectic Savannah people
Yeah,
that
you
work
know what
in the
though?
service industry.
You don't 1-star that. You 3-star that because
Yeah, that's a 3-star.
Just because
It was kind of a Karen move, but I got it.
Yeah,
I'd have
no,
been terrified, like being a random girl
I get the
walking in
concept,
there.
but
Yeah.
you don't 1-star people for that. You just go, hey, I didn't know what to expect.
like a bad
All right,
dream.
so
But
back to the
Friday
video.
and Saturday night, it's college kids.
Yeah. Back to the video.
And that's why Vinny's voice is gone because he's been eating ass from college kids.
Oh man,
oh man,
so,
I agree.
that is
man.
so.
So in the video,
He wishes he could.
the urinals aren't the kind that go all the way down to the ground.
No, it's a new age. The bathroom got renovated like a few months ago.
Yeah.
So It's a nice urinal.
Okay,
it
but
needs one of those pee stickers. You see the pee stickers?
Yeah.
It's like a fly, so you can pee the fly off. Like they need one of those.
or like the Hanoi Jane urinal stickers.
Well, I think they should put Vinny's face on there so you can try to pee Vinny's face off the urinal.
I'm about to fucking Will Smith slap that Chris Rock over there.
Yeah, Clint has been taking some shots over here.
Damn.
You're not winky, man. Calm
All
down.
right, but those items that he was picking up were all the way against the wall underneath the urinal.
and he
How do
peed-
you get them there?
And he was peeing in the other toilet.
How? Yeah, exactly. How do you get those
I guess
items?
maybe he pulled his phone out while he was peeing and everything just crumbled in his life. And he pulled his keys out. Maybe he was
Do you
trying to
think
do a
someone
bump.
else came in and kicked it underneath there on accident because they didn't see it on the ground? And because it was
up against the wall.
it was up against the wall.
And it was in as every men's bathroom in the damn city is at 9:00 on any night. There's some missing going on.
Yeah.
People can't make it in there. It's hard to piss when your ass is getting eaten from behind.
Your tattooed ass is getting eaten
Tattooed
from
ass.
behind.
But yeah, it was gross.
Speaking of ass eating, I went to the cooler the other night.
Speaking of ass eating, I just love that. Way to change the subject, babe.
Speaking of ass eating, I go to the cooler the other.
Podcast Ass Eating Cast.
I go to the
Behind the
cooler the
ass
other night,
cast?
and I see that there's a 12-pack of Bud Light seltzers there.
Okay.
All right, and I have no shame. I drink Oasis Sweetwater seltzers. I like the taste. I drink Trulies. I like the taste. So there's these Bud Light seltzers there, and they look like they have like tie-dyed cans or whatever. It's hot. I just got to work. I'm ready to drink me a little bit of a seltzy. I crack this Bud Light seltzy open and I drink it. It tastes like fucking diet cotton candy. It is the worst. Literally the worst seltzer I've ever tasted in my life. Have you, any of you guys?
No.
He may have. I don't drink seltzers because I have a penis, but
You drank seltzers with me the other
that's
night.
the most seltzer I've ever had in my entire life.
I do the long drinks. I like the Topo
Well,
Chico.
you've drank it then, Clint. Hey,
Topo Chico seltzers are good.
You eat one ass.
You eat
You're
one
an
ass.
eater.
One
You
ass.
fuck one goat. You can paint 10 houses. You can clean 10 cars. You're not the house painter or the car cleaner. You fuck one goat.
also
I'll take 'em both.
speaking of eating ass, I was driving.
Eat goat ass.
Yes. I'm the goat at ass eating. I'm coming home from the grocery store today.
Ass eating ain't coming.
Hey, coming and
Sorry,
going.
I'm done. I'm
God,
done.
This is really gotten out of
And I was
control.
just thinking in my head, I was like, you know what Tybee needs more than anything?
the second bridge.
Another Waves shop where they sell
They do.
beachwear.
Yeah, there's not a place to buy
another
clothes
beach
out
shop.
here. Are they opening a
I
new
was
one?
gonna say a water
They are
slide.
opening one between two existing ones. All right, so you got the old High
So
Tide.
this could be some sort of money laundering scheme, possibly.
Human trafficking.
Human ass.
I'm not
trafficking?
speculating. And look, man, I know all those guys are cool, whatever, but there is no way. I mean, there are not enough people that visit here, even in the busiest season.
It's Myrtle Beach style, like they're everywhere.
The first time I ever went to Myrtle Beach, I drove through it. We never stopped. I needed
You don't have to.
I needed a penicillin shot by the time I got done.
It's worse than eating ass at Huckapoo's.
Eating
cooler.
ass in the social bathroom. No, the thing was, every store,
off the floor.
every store, it was Beach Shop and a place called Bad Kitty with 2 D's. And you know what they sold at Bad Kitty? Stripper clothes.
Okay.
So this is Myrtle Beach. This is
Vinny.
I didn't know there were so many strip clubs there.
this is Myrtle Beach. It's Wave Shop, Bad Kitty, Ass Eating Emporium, Mini
Like,
Golf.
we had Kitten's Corner down here for a while.
A bad kitty.
B-A-double-D Kitty.
I thought you meant K-I-D-D-Y, which I was like, I don't want to know what they sell there.
Oh, dude, I didn't even think about that. That's so fucked up.
Not pedophiles.
Damn, I didn't know.
I don't know. Kids are eating ass younger and younger as time goes by.
Is it a thing?
I think, man. So I was listening to another podcast, and they
How dare you?
and they go on Tinder and everything, and they were like, you would be surprised how many young women are like, hey, just looking for a good time. Da, 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 da. Also, I eat ass.
Yeah, that's on comment on like Tinder profiles. Like, yeah, I think I eat ass.
I don't know.
Because Vinny's like,
I'm not on Tinder.
Wait,
I'm
No.
not on Tinder. I'm a bartender. I don't need that shit.
I
Feel me?
got a long time ago and had like 2 bad dates, and I'll tell those stories one day. Speaking of bad dates
Maybe
and bad
on Patreon?
dreams, I had a dream the other night. I took a 5-HTP and a melatonin before bed, so I always have weird dreams. Not bad nightmares, you people that have those, just because you're taking too much. In this dream, my buddy Poe took over the podcast and stole it from me, and Paxton and Poe would not let me back on the podcast. Wouldn't let me on. and this podcast was being filmed at U-Dog from the Wu-Tang Clan's house. You're saying to yourself,
You God or you
God? You God. Sorry, I have you God in my notes. Sorry, I'm dyslexic.
Did he live on Tabby too in the dream?
Yeah, so we're at you God's house somewhere, which is the most.
I'm sure you guys got a studio. He was in the Wu-Tang.
He might. He's one of those broke ass person in Wu-Tang because he's the worst one in Wu-Tang, and most people don't know about you God because he's horrible.
Yeah.
He's there just to eat ass. But in this dream, because Poe was in this dream, and you God.
Shout out Poe. I saw him for the first time the other night.
Yeah, giant egg rolls on the table, like this big, that were getting sliced up by you God in slices. I was allowed to have any of that either. I go in the other room. You got somehow in that room too. He's got a giant pet lizard. It's about this big. He's feeding it this giant piece of burrito. He's cutting up too.
Wait a minute, burrito or egg roll?
The egg roll one room, burrito the other room.
We're covering all the
We're at
rap.
Chico and Chang's. We're at Chico and Chang's. That's a real restaurant.
Goodness.
That's a real restaurant.
Really?
It's in Atlanta. You never been to Chico and Chang's? You ever heard of it? You've heard of it, Vinny.
No. I pray to God it's real, though, for you to say that.
I have to go to Chico and Chang's.
Actually, you don't go there.
We
They come
can go
to
there.
you.
We can go there Thursday or Friday.
No, they come to you. You know why I know who they are? They deliver food until 6 a.m. in downtown Atlanta. So I've been to multiple wine shows. You go to the wine show, you get drunk. It's 1 a.m. You're like, I need some food. Chico and Chang's. Fire Chinese food, fire Mexican food.
Oh, shit,
You can
okay.
get jalapeno poppers, lo mein, fried
Chico
chicken
and
wings,
Chang
and a
sounds
burrito.
better. I thought it was Chico and something else, not
Chico and
Chang.
Chang's. You get Wangs?
No, I thought you said I don't even. I don't even.
I know
Chico
what
and
it
Kitties. K-I-D-D-Y.
B-I-B-A-D-D key.
It rhymes with sink. That's what I
Oh,
thought
when I
you
said 2 Ds.
Oh, Chico and Chinks? No.
Yeah.
No,
I was like,
no.
Poe is your friend.
like,
Why are
that's
you such a
terrible.
racist?
I've heard Poe say chink more than anybody I've ever read in my entire
Right.
life. But I guess that's their word.
And you were talking about him being able to drive. I was like, he's a male Asian, though.
Yeah, he drives fine. He drives like an old man. He just drives slow. He's just cautious. Speaking of being cautious, we kind of want to reiterate a story we told earlier about someone's dad using porn.
We're going to do a Patreon
But I
this
think we
week.
should Patreon that instead. 'cause
Yeah, and it's about to come out because I had a funny dream too, but I'm not going to tell it on the
Was it
Platonic
moist?
podcast. It wasn't moist.
Well, we were talking about ass eating on the air, so we might as well Patreon. Oh, shout out Rachel. Thank you for going back and liking 35 of our posts or whatever you did.
Yeah,
Hey,
if anyone feels like they want to go back and just hit like on everything the BarCast has ever
it's great.
done,
We don't mind.
We don't mind.
It won't bother us.
It'll really help
one
us out.
damn-
All the links are on our YouTube page right now.
all the links are on the screen right now.
right
if
here.
you're watching on
Right here.
YouTube,
I usually see it. Vinny moved the
I
camera,
just
so I can't see the
I
screen
just doubled
anymore.
it.
double. And then
He slid the
also,
why are you hiding it from me, bro? I can't see anymore.
Cool. 'Cause it's
also
my job.
please support us on Patreon. It is from behind the BarCast / from patreon.com / from behind the BarCast. We appreciate all your help. Vinny, can we get an F count before we go to
Oh
the
wait,
Patreon?
we're drinking Finlandia vodka in emergency.
Oh, also, we're wearing sunglasses,
Drinking Finlandia
drinking
vodka.
Finlandia.
And I'm just a good old Budweiser. I won. I got 4 F-bombs. Clint, second place with 3. Paxton with 2.
That came in hot.
I
Pretty-
didn't
it's
even,
pretty weak. It was
And in
mostly
case
all
anybody's
the second
concerned,
half.
I didn't even feel
the
like
duck
saying
is still
fuck.
sitting at 210 degrees. I'll have my duck ready about 10:15.
Oh, is that what are you making a duck for? Is there like a
Are you
special
just
occasion?
smoking a duck.
Are you
You know
just
why?
eating you're just eating a whole duck by yourself tonight?
You mean whole ducks you've eaten in your life? I mean, dicks. All right.
You eating duck ass?
I actually
Dude, that's
shove
my
oranges and
favorite
onions in the duck ass. You gotta get it in there. That way, when you toss the duck salad, it tastes pretty good.
You got to let me make you some like field peas sometimes. I got a real nice recipe.
Do you? Yeah. You gotta okra that shit up.
All right, now here's the thing.
Is it like a foreign recipe
If you want
from another country? Are you gonna invade my peas?
I've invaded more than your peas already. buddy.
Oh wow.
So if you want to hear the rest of the Pornhub story, stick around for the Patreon, and we'll see you
spicy.
there.
I think I'll somehow get spicier than that. All right.